useful to everyone. So our two schools today are St. Colmcilles Community School and LeCheile Secondary School. They're both based in and around Dublin, and but both coming from sort of different approaches. So we have Jennifer Mhuirí and Andrew Bates from Colmcilles and Paul Kennedy from LeCheile. So I'll hand over to, I think, Jennifer and Andrew to kick off the session, and then we'll hand over to Paul. And if there's any questions or if you have anything for any of the speakers, just drop it into the chat. We'll try and address it on the call. And I think Jennifer and Andrew may have to leave a little bit early, so we might try and come to any questions before we hand over to you, Paul. So with that, Jennifer and Andrew, I'll hand it over.
Okay, hi there, folks. I'm just going to share our screen here.
So, hi guys, how are you? Good afternoon. So, so we're in St. Colmcilles Community School in Knockline, just off the M50 there. And just Anna, as you were saying about the collecting the data and gathering the data and everything for the Digital School Awards, which we did last year, actually collaboration networking was probably one of the easiest areas for us because we have done so much work on it over the last few years. So we'll move on to why. So why did we start? So basically we're going to talk today about school visits and why we started visiting other schools. So the idea behind it was myself and Andrew work together. I'm the teaching and learning coordinator. Andrew works on infrastructure, and we basically had difficulties and areas that we wanted to work on, but we knew there was no point in reinventing the wheel. There were other schools that were doing the things that we wanted to do, and we wanted to learn from them. And isn't that basically why we started it?
Exactly. And I mean, at another level, we've both been in the school a long time, and it's sometimes to put our heads above the parapet and see what else is going on.
So we then looking at the how. So how did we go about it? So we are 23 years. The school opened in 2000. We actually only said goodbye to our principal the other day, who retired after 23 years. So a young enough school, but also we consider ourselves to be quite progressive and forward thinking. And we have lots of colleagues over the years that have moved on to leadership roles in other schools. So we contacted them. We have met people through ACCS conferences. We have also met people last year through the Digital School Awards and these such webinars, and then the Google event, education event that Andrew recently visited as well. So we wanted to explain to you how we made these contacts and how we networked with other schools. So the first school we went to, actually by coincidence, is LeCheile, which is Paul's school, and his principal worked with us for many years. And do you want to explain to them about the Google Keep?
Yeah, so what we have here is a Google Keep, and some of you in your Google Workspace might be familiar with it. It's one of those fun, small little pieces, not like docs or slides, but it's brilliant. It's a collection of little notes, and we have them for all of our different things. You can pin little pictures to it, and it's just our handy way of kind of bringing all our ideas in one place. So you'll see a few of these as we go through it.
So we have visited LeCheile twice, in 2019 and 2021, and this came about because the principal, Leona Harrington, the school had become an Apple Distinguished School, and I had actually just before that emailed to Leona asking her advice in relation to iPads and connectivity, mirroring from the iPad to the screen, etc. And she said, well, why don't you come out and visit us? We're having an open day for the Apple Distinguished School. So we did that. Myself and the IT coordinator went out, and then she invited us back again during a normal school day, but obviously COVID happened in between. So we went back, myself and Andrew, in 2021, and we were just amazed. There was just so many ideas, and also, but myself and Andrew were talking about this earlier, lots of ideas, but also lots of things that we knew we were doing well. And then so here just some examples of the ideas. So the board layout, so you can see on the left is Paul's school, LeCheile, And we came back and we said we can do something similar. So it's so simple. And so I just went to a shop, an art and hobby shop, and bought a lot of this tape here, and we divided up. Now, obviously, guys, we didn't do it in every single classroom. We gave the option to the teachers. So divided up the whiteboard and broke it into different learnings. You can't exactly see on the right there, but we have learning intentions and success criteria. So we took that idea from LeCheile, and a lot of teachers took that on board. And they, especially, I'm a language teacher, so the language teachers, I know the maths teachers didn't want it because they needed more space on the whiteboard. But that was just something simple we had seen in another school and we brought back to our own school. Do you want to talk about the whiteboards?
So whiteboards in classrooms, like one of the simple things, we went out to LeCheile really to talk about Wi-Fi and, you know, casting iPads and so on. I'm looking around the rooms and thinking, look, hang on a second, they have all these whiteboards, and began to realize, what does this offer us? What ideas and options are there? So we got a few extra whiteboards in our classrooms and began to see what happens. And you know, you begin to modify. You have a whiteboard in the room. You think, oh, I could try this. I could actually suddenly have students on one whiteboard. So it kind of got us thinking. And then we're lucky in September, we got the opportunity. We were offered 40 whiteboards. And we said, okay, yes, because now we know what to do with them. Now we have a plan. And now they're in every room. So it was really just a case of dropping the idea in, trying it out, small scale. And then when the opportunity arose, we were ready.
And as well, we're, as I said, we're 23 years. We're not a new school. We don't have huge digital grants. Was talk about a school we went to visit last year, which was a brand new school, and their digital infrastructure is incredible. But we didn't have that. But we looked at cost-effective ways of bringing in these ideas. And as Andrew said, we were able to get our hands on whiteboards for free, and we got them all, and then we kept them in storage. And then in September, we said to teachers, who wants an extra whiteboard? And as you said, majority of the classrooms now have the whiteboards. And another idea we got from LeCheile was the digital champions. So I can't remember, Paul, what they're called. You might be able to tell us afterwards. But the digital champions, a group of fourth years who have just the skill set in technology. So they help students, but they also help the teachers if there's any difficulties with technology on the day, and the teachers contact them. We have their names up on the Google Classroom page. And Andrew, it's really you that choose them, isn't it?
They're great. So I have a group of TYs. I have them for double right now, actually. So I can tell you now, I have 3 digital champions out in simple projects. One, a TV in one of the rooms stopped working. They're going to have to figure out, it's probably really simple. But again, you know, teachers stuck at the time. We have another one of them working with first years to get all their VSware on the first year iPads set up, because that's how we communicate timetables and so on. So she's sitting down with all the first years and walking them through how to set a password and that kind of thing. And I have a third one doing a little bit of a, here's how you can organize your email. So we have a load of our office staff and our teachers saying, look, I'm just getting swamped. I'm leaving unread emails. Where could they be? What tools do we have in place within Gmail to try and make this easier? And, you know, I could sit down for half an hour and I'd probably figure it out. But actually, we've given it to the kids. They're going to make a presentation, and that's going to go back to staff. So suddenly all these things that we drawing on our time are outsourced. The kids are learning, and it gives them a leadership role in the school.
And I want to go back a little bit, if I can, just in relation to our TVs. So we, again, from being in a few of the schools that we've been to, they have interactive whiteboards, which cost about $3.5, $4 grand. We don't have the budget for that. So what we did was we started off, we had like a prototype classroom, which is my classroom here at room 38. And we bought a 75-inch TV for that classroom, and we removed the projector. And it has just worked perfectly. It's seamless to connect your iPad or your Chromebook to the TV. For me, I teach with my iPad. I can walk around the classroom, and it just, the students love it, I love it, and it is something that we now have a policy in place, is if a projector goes, we're not buying new projectors, we're buying TVs. And again, it's the cost effective. We don't have the money to buy an interactive whiteboard, but because we're using the iPad, we're mirroring from the iPad, we don't see the need for an interactive whiteboard either. So we'll move on then to NACE. So again, you can see our keep there. So we took pictures on the keep, and again, when I was putting this presentation together, you could look back on all the different ideas, etc. And so one big one was they have an interactive whiteboard in all their classrooms. They're brand new building, so they got a grant for all this, but they have their notices up on it. So we went back and we said, we asked for a TV, and we were told, no, you're not getting an interactive whiteboard in the staff room. So we said, okay, how can we work around this with what we have? So we actually had a TV in the classroom that hadn't been used for years.
Oh yeah, it was sitting defunct, and it's an old, you can see the big thick board, it's an old thing, but it's about 50 inches, 60 inches. So it does the trick really nicely. Combine that with a bit of Rise Vision software that reads our Google Calendar, and now we're communicating with staff, because the whole problem underneath this all was people thinking, what's going on? I didn't hear this event. And that actually cycles through 3 or 4 different slides that we just update, just read some Google slides, key announcements, all the different kind of things you want people to know.
And again, completely, we didn't have to spend any money on that. Well,
No.
the Rise Vision was it €100 or something like that?
a year, something like that.
So that it comes from our school calendar. So we push for our teachers to, if there's anything going on in the school, you need to put it on the school calendar, and then that through the Rise Vision gives the notice to the staff room. And I think one teacher actually said it was one of the best things she's ever seen in the school, because it's just a communication that everybody's aware of what's going on. And then our collaborative peer observation. So in Naas Community College, so one of our colleagues moved to Naas there about 4 or 5 years ago and invited us for a visit to their new build. So we went and we saw this in the staff room. So I'm the teaching and learning coordinator. Collaborative peer observation is something that we really put a huge emphasis on in the school. So they had a whiteboard, simple whiteboard, and the days of the week, and literally when teachers are doing something that they think would be beneficial to other teachers, they put it up on the teaching and learning board. So we did the same thing this year. We got a spare whiteboard from one of the classrooms. Our graphics teacher came and designed it for me and put up that tape on it, and that's literally it, once a week. And I think our aim now at the moment, we're only starting with this, but our aim is if we could have one teacher once a week put up their name on the whiteboard, and then somebody come in, and it can literally be, you can see what's on that one there. It just says 20 minutes, which is fine. You could do the whole hour, or you could do 10 minutes. But this is something huge that has come from our visit in another school that is making a huge difference, and adding to the collaboration between our own teachers. Anything you want to add on that?
That's great.
Yeah. And then Andrew's going to talk to you about the Chromebooks.
So we've been kind of exploring what to do, in terms of our teacher devices. So we have Windows PCs in all the classrooms. Teachers are all given an iPad, and it just doesn't feel like the best solution. So we've been trying to ask around, talk to people, see what's going on, look at Chromebooks. So this is one of our big ones at the moment. I'm doing this on a Chromebook right now. So myself and Jenny each got some initially, and we're kind of beginning to explore it. We've now rolled this out to the AP1 team as a sort of a small pilot. We may change the whole staff over, we may not, but it's been really good to, as we go out to other schools and talk to problems. I sat down in Naas there earlier in the week, and they had a disastrous Chromebook trial, and they didn't like them at all. But actually, as we dove into it, it was a hardware issue more than software. So we can see, okay, hang on a second, we need to be careful to spec the devices and avoid these pitfalls. So it's really just, learning from others. We're not doing everything from scratch.
That's it, exactly. And in Naas, what we learned from not Naas, it is Naas, apologies, is that they bought iPads for their teachers, wasn't it? And then the management were given the Chromebooks. Now, our teachers, we have iPads, and then there's PCs in the classroom, but our PCs are on their way out. So we have to come up with a new solution. Do we get other PCs, or do we go down the route of the Chromebook? So we're doing it slowly, but again, we're getting ideas from other schools. And then the other school we visited last year was Mhuirí Community School, and this came from a conference. Myself and Andrew went to a conference, and an ACCS one that was based on digital technology, and we were having a big problem with our wireless. And we asked the question, and the deputy principal from Mhuirí came up to us, and Andrew's going to explain what she did for us.
Yeah, so basically she said, look, the guy you need to talk to, was Larry, who's from whatever company, I can't remember off the top of my head. And we got in touch, he came out, and they basically went around the whole school, and he mapped all of the radio noise and all the radio signals in the school. So we were kind of thinking our Wi-Fi isn't good enough, but actually our Wi-Fi was too good. It was too loud, too strong, and any point in the school was getting 3 or 4 different signals. So it was interesting that the advice that came out of it all, we need to bring the power down on everything. It's like quieting down the conversations in a room. So our signal to noise got a lot better, and it made a huge immediate increase. And even now we go around, he showed us the tools. If we have a Wi-Fi problem in a particular area of the school, I now have a tool to scan and see what's going on in that area. And a lot of the time we can find is poorly configured devices. And this allows us to have a bit more information going back to our IT guys, because none of us are IT experts, but realize, you know what, hang on, that last device you put in, you didn't configure it right. I can see why things are going down, and we can begin to move ourselves in the right direction. But it was finding that person who really knew what they're talking about. That's so hard to do, if we're just getting online trying to Google it.
And as I said from the beginning, we don't have time. Time is something that is limited for all teachers. And it was the fact that by meeting with these other teachers through different conferences, and as I'll mention the Digital School Awards now in a minute as well, we have saved so much time because they have done it before us. So, and we're not in competition with other schools. We're all trying to do the best for our students and for our teachers. And that's why we wanted to do this today, was to show you exactly what we have learned by collaboration with others. So this is just our last slide here, just to give our email addresses, but myself and Andrew, and as well to say that we have a future visit lined up with the Dominican College, and that came from a Digital School Awards webinar last year, where the principal, Lorraine McCool, was talking about Google Classroom and how she uses it as a notice board for her staff. And I literally the very next day emailed her school and asked if there was any way I could get an email address for her. She emailed me back personally, and then I had a half-an-hour conversation with her in relation to Google Classroom. And then Andrew actually met with her at the Google School event, and she has asked us to come and visit her after January. And then the last one was two schools from Kilkenny have recently visited us. And they've learned a lot from us as well. Sorry, the intercom is on there, guys. And just to say, we're open to visits from other schools as well. But today we just wanted to let people know that you can learn so much, but also you can realize that you're doing things very well yourself.
Yeah.
Okay, Sinead, that's it from us, guys.
That's super. Thank you so much. Does anybody have any questions before Jennifer and Andrew have to leave?
There's a question there from Ryan, just about what was the name of the software used for the calendar and TV in the staff room?
Rise Vision.
Right, someone actually answered that. They thought that was it. Great, thank you.
It's really good. You pay it. It's about $100 a year a screen, but it's really nice integration to Google Slides and Google Calendar.
Great.
Again, feel free to drop me a line if you want more details.
That's excellent. And I think, Jennifer, I mean, what really does come across is you have very focused, specific requirements. You've been able to sort of identify things that will work for your school. Rather than, as you say, having to do everything from scratch, research everything, going out to see what's working. I don't know, when you pick schools to visit, do you already have something in mind, or do you actually have a visit to the school and then see things as they come up? Like, how do you identify?
It started off being digitally focused and seeing, do they use iPads, Chromebooks, etc., how they connect to the TVs, if they have TVs, or to projectors. But then, as you can see, we got other benefits from it, the teaching and learning wall and everything. So it actually expanded. But yes, it starts off with one for a reason. And then when we go, we get a lot more ideas.
Every school we walk away with stuff we never expected.
Yeah.
And that's actually quite a lot of fun, because you come back on, wow, I love that.
Yeah, and we have huge support, like our principal, deputy principals, like they obviously give us cover, S&S cover, so that we can go on these school visits. But again, they see the importance and they can see how much we're learning from others as well, and how much it's benefiting us and our students.
That's brilliant. Well, we really appreciate you coming on, Jennifer and Andrew. Thank you so much for your time. And as you say, you're very happy to receive visits, and we'll hopefully see you again on our webinars. But thank you so much for sharing your practices. I know people will have found it really useful. Okay. So if you have to drop off, I just want to say thanks so much.
No problem. Thank you.
So Paul, if you're happy, we'll hand over to you.
Hi everyone, and let me just see, can you see my screen?
Yeah, that's
perfect. Cheers. I'll jump straight into it, guys, because I know everyone's time is tight. First off, I want to say hello to everyone there, and hello to Kate and Aoife and the Selfie community for all that you do and for this opportunity to share some of what we do here at LeCheile Secondary School with you today. And let me just move a few things out of the way here. So I'll jump straight in, guys, and our story here. I've divided today's presentation into 3 sections. Section 1 is going to talk about our school vision, followed up with section 2 being the physical spaces, and then thirdly with the online spaces. I suppose I feel it's important to give you a feel of our school through our vision, and then follow this up with how we promote collaboration and networking via physical and online spaces. And it was great to hear from Jen and Andrew and hear our school and see the pictures of our school as well. You always feel so blessed when you see somebody else learning from you, and maybe it's a thing of the teacher. So at LeCheile, guys, we're a one-to-one iPad school. We have no textbooks at junior level. It is all teacher-created content, and we all work from an online learning platform called Schoology. When it comes to our learning environment, I suppose, if I could just use this quote, technology is at the heart of our school's vision for teaching and learning, and a clear rationale identified for the embedding of digital technology here at LeCheile across all aspects of school life. From the developing phase of our school journey, it still remains as our driving force. And I suppose I just wanted to say that this vision hopefully creates and shows our inclusive and personalised education that we have for our students here at LeCheile. And the 3 principles that we kind of follow that would be flexibility and choice, learning to learn, and in creativity and innovation. So, welcome, wisdom and witness, visible here on our school crest, is our school motto, which supports our vision statement for the use of technology, such as, if I read out our statement of for technology, we welcome the advent and availability for use of new technologies that enhance teaching and learning. And with wisdom, we value the wisdom of our learning community to use technology to explore content more personally and to a greater depth. And witness, we share our technology stories so that others may also have the courage to benefit from the creativity use of technology. I suppose this vision has promoted positive results, and our last whole school evaluation has recognised this. And if I may quote from the inspector's report, senior management support the successful integration of e-learning to support and enhance teaching and learning. With no books at junior level, but teacher-created content, this requires considerable work by teachers and is commendable that subject teams share resources and plan collaboratively to achieve this. And a whole school learning environment, including spaces such as the Learning Plaza, which I'll talk to you about, which supports creativity and collaboration, is evident. So I hope you will all agree at this stage that we take collaboration and network fairly serious here at LeCheile. So ensuring that we network and collaborate effectively when it comes to digital learning planning, it comes from this organisation here, Selfie, and the Digital Schools Awards. And I find it provides us with effective external feedback on our internal stakeholders' voice via the Selfie tools and the survey tools. It has also helped shape and direct our conversations for the improvement of digital learning here with a focus on teaching and learning. I suppose it's a 3-way conversation that a Selfie provides with the digital learning here. It's a conversation between the school body and the Selfie professionals and the digital learning committee here at LeCheile. So I hope you're starting to feel the welcoming open arms of LeCheile Secondary School when it comes to collaboration, teaching and learning. And I will now take a trip to some of the key areas of our school environment, looking at the physical learning spaces first and how they inspire us to share here. Starting with the layout and design of our school, it was carefully thought out in light of our motto, and we here have learning spaces that promote this vision. So looking through these images here, starting with the top left, it shows a section of David Thornburg's campfires in cyberspace, and his philosophy is heavily seen throughout the design of our school environment. David talks of having key areas to provide key teaching and learning opportunities. So if you look at the orange and the purple caves here, they're areas for reflective and uninterrupted sharing between students, or the green benches there acting as our planes to allow ideas to branch out, to find space to develop for learning needs, and because learning needs room to grow. And bottom left is our popular Learning Plaza, which I mentioned already, which is excellent for all spaces mentioned in Thornburg's study, especially as a swamp to get stuck into, deep conversations, or a watering hole to meet up with peers. And these spaces also, they support a module that we run in our school, which also promotes collaboration, which is our Blue Sky module. And Blue Sky thinking has no limits. And this philosophy, it is the philosophy we have behind this module. No limits to the collaboration and conversations which develop. So in our school, we provide Blue Sky to non-exam years, 1 class period per week, where students pick a module and attend it over a selected time before rotation and selection opens again. So they do that online over their iPad. This gives an exciting and kind of atmosphere in the school with the autonomy given to the students and ignites again further conversations on the lessons. But I suppose you're thinking now what is actually taught, and I suppose this is as well gets interesting. Staff timetable are given free choice to network their hobbies and skills outside of the classroom. It's amazing to see teachers connect with their local clubs, societies, interests, hobbies, and blue sky thinking provided modules, such as modules on mountain biking, interior design, drumming, and there was even I think like the year before last, South African barbecuing, where students can really get their teeth stuck into. Another area of our school for kind of getting that or showing our flexibility and choice and creativity and innovation is our TY Choose Your Own Subject module. So courses here are already preloaded, they're already set up online, and the teachers have shared their vision and created kind of flipped classrooms. Students then choose what they wish to study, and the projects represent and reflect their engagement levels, with teachers present and only acting as mentors more than teachers. This initiative, I hope, shows another physical space happening in LeCheile, promoting collaboration, and it kind of reflects kind of third level education style format as well. Quickly, I might cover peer observation in our school, where we have colleagues who view each other's classes and lessons to aid high quality conversations about teaching and learning. Digital learning in the classroom is a section in this peer observation conversation checklist. And we also are given bespoke Crow Park hours by our senior management, where we can decide how we spend the time on what we want to explore and what skills we want to progress. So I suppose as a digital learning coordinator, it's important to ensure teaching and learning and technology in the school network effortlessly together. A main drive this year for myself and the team has been improving our physical presence around the school. In staff meetings and inside and outside the classroom, we want to be seen. And the iHelp team, which is a student tech support team, like what Andrew and Jen said about the digital champions, we call it the iHelp team. And this team, I suppose, they represent and support the students. It's a group of 3 juniors and 3 senior students, and I suppose I might talk you through some of their roles. So they provide support during Monday's Learning Hub. This is an area every Monday at lunchtime, open to students wanting assistance, support, a conversation, or even to learn tips around digital learning or device. And you can see that in the bottom left, that's clearly visible across our school. They survey the students, creating training on student needs. They present in the Learning Hub, and due to Selfie's feedback, provide in-class training to build capacity where we're tackling tech issues together. And I know Andrew talked about, you walk around the school, what is the issue? Is it the Wi-Fi or is it device? But we've trained our students, trained by students in how to tackle these. So they're not telling us it's a problem with the Wi-Fi, they're able to figure out, it's a problem with my device. So again, building capacity. So I suppose another aspect as well, we've all these put up in classes, so it's physically present. And the top left poster is the poster we put up in the class after the students have given their training on devices to the students. So now I'm going to move into our third and final section, which is our online learning environment. So just a quick glance here is an overview of the online systems that we use to work together in school. So there's quite a lot, and so it had to be signposted so people can find out what way to go and how to go about it. So this signpost was created so staff can direct themselves through the many systems of communication present here, be it a parent they're looking to speak with or contact or make conversation with, a student, a colleague, a department, one of the department leaders or senior management, or the whole school at the one time. There's a system there to find that person, to find that communication. And to support this signpost, then the digital learning touchpoint map was also created. So here, if I might talk through a few of these, are the different areas where if you're needing some support along the lines of digital learning, this is provided. So on the left-hand side, we have the Schoology course, which is open 24/7. And there's a Schoology iHelp course for staff, teachers as well, with quizzes on it and help given to them. We have bottom left, Wriggle, Connect, and Apple Teacher. So this is a training platform providing badges and external resources for teachers. Myself and Canwall are physically present, providing, which is very important, LeCheile, with all this tech and all this digital learning, to face-to-face support. My lights have just gone off in this room. Again, we have smart lights in this school, which sometimes, you need to be ready for. So the next part is the app suite. they're our colleagues, and it's an informal support network, which I'll talk further later about in this presentation. And then finally, to Tech Tuesdays. So every Tuesday I send out a short video email to all staff. So it's for teachers by teachers, and it's just 1 to 3 minutes, and it just explains something new to teachers to kind of jump into. So every week they've got the opportunity, they see it pop up, do they want to learn something, they click in, and it's great to get that conversation going in the corridors then about, oh, I liked your video this week, or I liked the song you chose. So I hope this shows our vision of, you know, how we're flexible and how we give choice and how we're continuously networking internally. When it comes to the devices of the students, everything is managed in their school and it's secure and monitored. An example of how does an app come into a student's iPad? First, the student teacher will create a conversation on it. They would decide it's a good idea. The conversation will come to me as the digital learning coordinator, and then a review will be done, and then that app is pushed out. So nothing kind of moves without a team overviewing what's coming in and out of the school. So as well as selfie feedback, I find these webinars great. And last year, I listened to a school who set up a digital leaders an app suite. So a teacher who is seen as a contact point for an app. And there you can see some teachers and apps in my school in the background here. So at the same time, I was doing an audit of the apps in our school. So this is now a huge informal collaborative initiative in our school called App Suite, where staff are contact points, they're digital leaders, and they're not seen as experts. They're not there to, you know, drop everything and help, but they're there as a contact point to learn from or to improve on. So I'll see, you know, Miss Stanley is good at Kahoot. What's she doing that I'm not doing? So that's our app suite. So now for Schoology, as you can see, there's a bit in Schoology. So it's a 24/7 online flipped classroom resource bank, community sharing, exam provider, you name it. It's definitely worth Googling it and YouTubing it and seeing what it's like. It's a super educational collaborative platform and I love it. Such a new teacher can come into my department and they're instantly connected to all my material. They know what I'm doing, they know how I'm doing it, and it's sharing is instant and quick, and it's very supportive. Peer observation is happening continuously, such as this morning, I checked what the other graphics teacher is doing second year and where he is and what homework he's at, so I can click in, click out, and I know we're both on the same path. If you view the bottom left there, you can see our student iHelp team also have a course up, and that's where students can get support, and you know it's 24/7 if they're not able to make it to the Monday club. A course, viewing the top middle then, a staff digital learning support course has also been set up, and in there staff members can find everything they need to know to be empowered to face digital learning, and also, you know, again, building that capacity that we want in our school. Viewing top to left there, we have exemplary projects. Is a course just recently created this year, and it's a project of mine with the digital learning team. And Selfie identified this in our feedback, such as we need more cross-curricular projects and support. So our aim is to have all the best student projects in one place on this course. So it's a click away. So throughout the year, the iHelp team will gather the best projects and they'll upload them here for teaching and learning via the best students. So, you know, it's networking at its best, you know, at one click, and all these resources are available to any of your students and any of your classes. So Selfie survey also directed us to think about the options for student assignments as well, respecting the students' heavy workload. And we created creative choice, and you can see it middle bottom there. And this is a folder that provides step-by-step of how you can change how you give homework and assignments, and how to make it more fun and easier and engaging for students. And we designed this with students, the AEN department, and the digital learning team. And now with a click of a button, this folder can be part of your Schoology course, and you know, you can make homework fun and less time consuming, and it improves the conversation, and students have more empowerment, they feel more respected, which, you know, again has more positive results. And that's a few ways, different things that are happening in Schoology. I can't go into any more of it now because there's just not the time. So I'll quickly glance through this as well. We're about 3 slides left. So between Erasmus visits to our school, Andrew and Jen, to name but just a few, schools of distinction with Trinity, and the many presentations live on, it's an Irish word now, which I wouldn't be great, hence I'm a woodwork teacher, OIDE, ID. A lot is going on here, which we don't have the time for. I think in my last click, I found 26 videos professionally made by LeCheile teachers and our principal and Miss Harrington, just, you know, sharing what we can. So I think it's important to note that through devices, so I think, you know, devices here are increasing in every school. And Andrew talked about this as well. So it's important to keep Wi-Fi in your school updated. So with the support of senior management here, we've gone full circle on our system improvements, even though we are a new school. And one area that we've introduced into our school I might talk to you about is VLANs. And again, we collaborated with third parties of Clevernet and PFH. And these devices, so an iPad is a really chatty device. And if you can imagine, they're continuously trying to talk to each other, and we need to close this chat down. So what we've put now is all our iPads in different VLANs, like different rooms, where they don't talk to each other, but a user can bring that at a click of a button, searching or emailing, they can bring that iPad out. Otherwise, if you can imagine, there'd be about 1,400 devices trying to talk to each other, and it just slows down internet for unnecessary reasons. So that's something to think about if your school as well, Andrew and Jen, is struggling in the future, just bringing up that conversation on VLANs. This year, based on Selfie results again and the collaboration we did with Selfie, the Digital Learning Committee aimed to give staff more time to explore, train and experience digital learning related areas. So they came back from our surveys. So we recreated a rotation team meet session, and we worked with senior management on getting the time to have a Croke Park dedicated towards this. And we had 4 rooms set up here on the right hand side, an Apple room, a collaborative room, and staff were able to pick 3 of the 4. So they had 20 minutes in each room. The bell was rung, they changed. And again, I suppose looking at those headings of interactive, inclusive, collaborative, I think our biggest strength here is the positivity of our leaders and the staff to inspire others, and teachers put themselves forward here. They wanted to share their, their wisdom, and they wanted other teachers to witness it. Finally, guys, finishing off with Apple Distinguished Schools. We have been recognised as an Apple Distinguished School since 2018, and our original iBook 2018-21 and our updated Apple Distinguished School portfolio is available at LeCheileADS.com if you want to click on it. I'm not going to go into any more of that because it is just so packed. I go into it weekly just to be inspired by everything that happens in the school and also remind myself what's going on. It's amazing. So definitely check out LeCheileADS.com. And finally, just to kind of recap on what Apple Distinguished Schools is, it's a program that supports school leaders through leadership events, opportunities to engage with experts and collaboration with peers who share an interest in innovative learning teaching. The Apple Teacher Program is an online platform facilitating international collaboration and self-directed CPD with accreditation. So guys, that is me, and from everyone here at LeCheile, thank you so much for listening. I hope everyone found something relatable to your school, and feel free to reach out to us at any time. Our doors are always open, and we're always seeking to learn from you. So I leave you with Shasimid LeCheile, guys, and have a lovely evening. Thanks.
Thank you so much, Paul. I know there was one question there about the use of Schoolology. But I don't know, I mean, I know you did explore it a little bit, but perhaps, do you want to just tell us a little bit more about it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. So I think there's other platforms out there, Edmodo and other aspects, but we have Schoology in our school, and it's brought in by senior management. The school pays for it, a fee, but everything is online. So it's like all OneDrive, it's like Zoom, it's like Nearpod, it's all of those apps in one area, but they're not those apps, it's literally called Schoology. So I can create an assignment. That assignment straight away is provided to my students. The students can upload their work to the assignments. I can click on a button, I can give them a voice back on their assignment. I can create an open assignment where students can see other students, what they're uploading. I can open up a discussion based on what students are uploading. Students can start discussing on it. There is a One Voice course as well, which is an open platform like Facebook, where students are commenting, such as in business class, they might have a survey they want to get covered or to do. So they'll pop it up, hey guys, can you help me with this link? It's a 3-question survey for my project, and they can all link in it. It's totally monitored by all the staff as well. And yeah, I hope that explains it in some way. It's amazing. It really is. You can spend your life there. There's just functions I'm afraid to even click into because I just don't want to go down there. I have enough of my,
Yeah, that's fantastic. Well, I mean, I suppose if anybody's interested, they can sort of look it up. It's, as you say, it's a paid for software for school management or Fantastic.
Yeah, there's a few things on YouTube. You can click into it and it'll kind of give you, a little kind of idea of what it's about. And by all means, reach out to us here at LeCheile. We'd love to show you what we do.
Super. And I mean, Paul, your school was awarded, I think, November, so this time last year, and I'm assuming your selfie was done sometime like in September, or I don't know. Are you thinking of redoing your selfie to reassess how you're performing? Because that's a fantastic journey. I mean, obviously collaboration networking came up as an area for development, and based on today's presentation, you have touched on so many different facets of both areas that that's an incredible journey that you've been on in a short period of time. So, do you feel that you can see the change? Do you feel that you can see sort of the change in terms of collaboration between teachers and perhaps, more real world experiences coming into the school? Like, what's the impact?
Oh, where do I go from there? It's joining Selfie and that journey with Selfie. It's great having you along beside us along our way when we're creating our digital learning plan and when we're rechecking it, when we're meeting with the digital learning committee for SSE focus. Those results, they were so powerful and so fruitful with information. It was amazing. So we would have, liked to have jumped straight into maybe doing another survey before Christmas this year because it's been 12 months, but we're still going through bits and pieces. And I thought Selfie was great and even explained to us, if there is one issue, choose one action to solve that one issue so you can properly gauge the results, because so it's very bit by bit. So we're still working through it. Last year we had a huge change and this year we have a huge change again. But as you said, not putting any extra stress on teachers, not giving them any extra workload. We as a team are providing stuff like that creative choice. It's one click for teachers to click into to bring into their classroom, or the exemplar work. The teachers do all the CBA work, it's provided to them, but we're going to send a student in with a camera, their iPad, and just be like, can I take 1 or 2 pictures of what you think are the best? Then they'll upload it, so it's there for them, because I remember having a chat with a teacher before, and he's like, if I hear one more initiative and a job that I have to do, I'll lose my mind. So we're ensuring that we don't put any extra workload on teachers. It's there as like the Tech Tuesday videos. Yeah. There's a 1-minute video there or 3 minutes, click on it if you want. If you're too busy, go for it.
Yeah, brilliant. No, really exciting. And I'll wrap up just by saying, I think for both schools, their presentations will be available. I mean, there's a huge amount there that can be reviewed afterwards if anybody wants to have a look at the presentations or, to look at the video again. I really do thank all of the presenters, for giving us an insight into what's happening in your school, and definitely takeaways for any school that would, see, or if they're similar, that they would see opportunities there. I just want to close, because I know we're out of time, and just to say that we do have 2 more webinars coming up before the end of the year. And so on the 13th, we will be hosting a special webinar for national schools to support them in terms of analysing selfie results. So that's taking place. If anybody's interested, just get in touch. And continuing on the webinar series, in 2 weeks' time, we have Maureen Casey from Computex IT, and Maureen is going to cover a huge variety of different requirements around infrastructure and equipment for schools. So Maureen is an IT specialist, but has been operating in the space, supporting schools for a very long period of time. And she's going to bring a wealth of knowledge in terms of, obviously the basics around, Wi-Fi, making sure you have basic equipment, but also some of the really interesting software, hardware, technology that's available to support specific areas of the curriculum. And there's some really interesting things. Hopefully you'll be able to join us for that more, and you'll be able to share more on that with us. So with that, I'll close the call just to say thank you so much again for joining us. If you want to get in touch with us around any of the webinars, or if you do want to see some of the presentations that were shared here today or on previous webinars, just go on to the website awardsforselfie.eu into the resources, and you'll see all of the content there. So thanks again, Paul, Andrew and Jennifer, and have a lovely evening, everyone. Thanks for your time. Bye.